Hello, everyone. This is Zami Eccles-Erwin from FilmFestivalCircuit.com and the Assistant Director of the Austin Comedy Film Festival. Today, we are talking with one of our participating filmmakers. Corey Trahan is the director of Basic Witch. Corey, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. What inspired you to make Basic Witch?
Basic Witch is a fun little Halloween short. I have two Halloween theme parks in Texas, and they're sort of October haunted house theme parks. And I've been directing, those parks for years, and so we have a really fun production crew that moved over to film about 5 years ago, and the film, as in film, we've done really well. And so we've been shooting feature length films. And so we wanted a break and we wanted to do something fun and Halloweeny and something that used a very popular character at our park, Scarah, Damsel of the Doomed. And so that's sort of the inspiration behind the little film. It was a fun little Halloweeny getaway for us.
Okay, awesome. A little fun diversion from features. And you said that you operate two like horror-themed theme parks in
That's
Texas?
right. Yeah. So I have
Okay.
Nightmare on 19th Street in Lubbock, Texas, was formed about 18 years ago, and now in Austin, Texas, Bat City Scaregrounds. So this will be our third October in Austin. So 15
Oh,
acres of fear is what I call
that
it.
is awesome. That is so cool. Well, I wanted to ask about the setting and the set design of this film,
Mhm.
which I thought was incredible. And I
Thank
thought,
you.
it has an interesting, shift or a feel between artifice and then these real kind of things that the characters are interacting with. Is this filmed at your theme park?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So we try to obviously for feature length films, we can't really do a lot there because it's larger. This has this sort of larger than life, very animated feel to it,
right,
and so those theme parks are very geared toward immersing people in an environment in a very extreme way, a little bit too extreme for feature length films,
right.
but for little shorts and fun little things, they're perfect. And so all the scenes there were done at the park, at Bat City Scaregrounds in Austin, and they're sort of utilizing the things that we had. Sarah, the actress that plays Scarah, wrote the script, and we sort of wrote the script around the production capabilities at the park. So yeah.
That's so cool. And so, is this the crew on this and the actors are people that you've worked with before?
Yeah, we have our film crew. We have a production company, like a video film production company called HW Productions, or otherwise known as HorrorWeb Productions. And we have a big social media footprint for our films, for our horror films, and for the things that sort of we've done. We have HorrorWeb comic books. It's very odd, but it's sort of this pervasive sort of the film production company has sort of hit a lot of different art forms, and there's a lot of overlap between that production company, the personnel involved with that production company, and with the theme parks, of course, because they're very similar types of businesses.
Okay, yeah.
So
Well, that's incredible. I want to ask then, what was that on-set dynamic like? There seems to be a fun chemistry that you can kind of sense in watching this. So, what was that process like working with, people you trust and work with a lot?
it's great, I mean, because as I mentioned, these little films, these shorts and things, they're sort of a way for us, for the crew. And shooting a feature length is very stressful and can be very stressful. It's long hours, it's hot,
Totally.
whereas this was shot over a couple days, and it was 3 or 4 hours, and we all got to hang out and sort of remember why we do it. you know
Right.
and so there was a really good atmosphere filming it. We had a lot of fun using the parks. The atmosphere is already built into the parks and the production, and the crew, it was a much more laid back environment for our crew, and everybody just got to have a lot of fun and and sort of just relax into it and do something we enjoy, with no real intentions of it.
Hmm.
We submit it to film festivals, and it will be shown at the theme parks during the season and stuff. But, as a short, you know, there's always a reason to do shorts. I mean, your crew's getting better every time you shoot. Your crew is always going to.
Right.
We're learning things. We're getting better. We're getting more comfortable with cameras, that kind of thing. But there was no, outside of just sort of, you know, being better at what we do, there was no real intention other than to go out there and have a good time. And definitely the crew atmosphere was that. So
That's awesome, and it definitely reads through in the film that everyone's,
yeah.
having fun and participating in a really great
Mhm.
way. I'm curious then, so you've, worked in, numerous forms of production, whether it be live theme park or film, in your life, and you've made features. This was a sort of a fun digression, but I wanna know, did you learn anything from this process? Did you take any new insights, in the craft of directing from something like this?
Yeah, I did. Definitely there are some technical things. I
Okay,
mean, like I said, it was just a couple short nights, but from a technical point of view, you know, it sounds more of not necessarily a directing thing, but when you're a director of independent film, you sort of have your hands in all aspects of
right,
the film, and that includes production, just pretty much everything. And so, we have been trying to work at an indie level with minimal budget with fog for a long time, and just fog in the scenes, and how do you do that in a noiseless way that's not interfering with the
right.
audio, and this on an indie budget where you don't have these giant, anyway. So the foggy cauldron was definitely a learning process. I mean, we went out a couple days before the film, and we tried a couple things that didn't work, and so until finally we got this beautiful sort of fog dripping over the cauldron. So that was definitely learning from a production point of view.
Totally.
From a directing point of view, it was pretty open in the sense with the actors. It was, of course, there was a script, but because it was sort of meant in this open-ended way, everyone sort of went in and got to do their own little thing and add their own little lines, and I think that's what sort of made it kind of fun. Also burying somebody is a lot more deep, complicated than what you might think. I mean, Earth is heavy,
Right.
so and so that was fun. I've always wanted to do like the zombie rise, just
Right.
being a fan of zombie movies, and so it's like, I'm so pumped up to do this zombie rise, and that actor, we really put him through the ringer with just having all that earth on top of you is I don't care if you're claustrophobic or not, it can produce an anxiety. And
Totally.
so there was definitely that from a directing point of view of keeping an actor calm in that type of situation, was and he did fantastic. He was great. I got nothing but good things to say. But that was sort of one of the first times that I've been put in a position to have to help reduce an anxiety,
Totally.
particularly from being buried alive.
Right.
But that scene in particular was a lot of fun. And I also learned, after that, we went out and bought a lot of lighting because I really didn't like the look of
Okay.
yeah. So if I feel like that would have been better in hindsight if we would have had a blue flood, but it was such a small thing and we really didn't. But afterwards, a few months after, I went out and bought some a lot more outdoor lighting, and
Okay,
diffusers
totally.
to be able to, yeah, to be able to get a more cinematic feel if we ever do something like that, which we do a lot. But next time because I do want to do another zombie rise, I want another chance for
Absolutely.
that. So
You're hooked now.
yeah, right.
Well, I love this. This is great to hear that even, coming from features, doing a fun short, there's always something,
For sure.
in multiple arenas to learn from, and like you said, in the independent world, you're wearing all the hats,
Hmm.
there's everyone's gotta, share responsibilities, and I think it's super valuable, to take away that as a director, helping people, in, tough situations, anxious situations
Hmm.
is super, super important, and I talk to a lot of people in these interviews, and it's definitely the seasoned directors who are pulling that out as one of their main, primary focuses and main takeaways from any production.
Hmm.
So I'm curious, Corey, what are you working on next? Any new features? Any more fun
Yeah, we
shorts?
have. There's a lot. We have. HW Productions, the film company, or HorrorWeb, is a very, very, very busy company now in Austin. Austin's doing well with film. We have a script called Demon Code that is in the festivals right now that we're getting funded for to start producing. It's a feature-length film about a quantum physicist who gets a quantum computer to work, and it sort of breaks through reality, and he finds out that we're a simulation, and then it sort of sparks these unknown entities and things. So it's a horror film, of course, and so that screenplay right now is in festivals, and we're hoping to get some wins so that we can get funding, get some more weight for funding into it. And we're also finishing up principal photography, and hoping to release a feature called Tales of the Doomed at the beginning of next year. And so that film is an anthology. It's a horror hosted anthology, a lot like Creepshow, yeah, or something, where we have a Scarah, who is the character in Basic Witch. She's the host of it, and the first story in the anthology is about her rise to celebrity stardom, and how the fall, she gets engaged with the cult and other things. And then the second story is about a black metal band who goes to shoot a video out in the woods and sort of resurrects this creature. And so the second story, called The Black Quarry, is done, and we had a premiere for it already. We sort of like to, because they're components, we can kind of release them, send one of the stories to film festivals, and then when the whole thing's done, we'll premiere the whole thing. But that's the nice thing about doing anthologies, is you can also sort of submit the components to festivals and things too. And so we're super excited about that, about releasing that next year, and trying to get distribution and going through that process with it, and then also gearing up for our Demon Code feature-length film. So
excellent. That's very exciting. There, you have tons of momentum here, tons of irons in the fire. That's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, we're excited. We got a great crew. It's about 20 people, and
nice.
It's great. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, is there any other things you'd like to add about Basic Witch?
I think that Basic Witch is a very palatable Halloween film. It's like, you don't have to be a horror enthusiast, or you just have to love fun witch, and it's sort of meant for all ages. And there's definitely sort of a story behind it about beauty and what that means, and so it's not all the films that we do, I can say, are like are sort of can be open to all ages, and have that sort of very super palatable demographic that will enjoy. And Basic Witch is certainly that. It's just a lot of fun, I think, for all ages and for all types of people. So
totally. Well, I think people are really going to love it at the Austin Comedy Film Festival. I mean, it looks great characters, and it's just a fun story everyone can enjoy.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, thank you, Corey. It was very nice talking to you, and I hope you have a great run at the festival, and wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
All right, thank you. Looking forward to maybe seeing you in person there.
Absolutely. Take care.
You too.